Yo, I'm Micks Mowers and welcome to my channel. In today's video, working on this Stihl RM253t rotary lawnmower. The front axle has failed because of the way in which it's designed and the clips in which it holds it on. I don't know if the machine's had a bit of a knock or anything like that, but the machine used to be working fine, but now the front axle's all sort of screw-whiffed up. So we're going to be working on that today. Try and get this one done. It's also in for a bit of a service too, which is nice. Apparently it all runs as it should do, just the front axle is a bit wonk-patonk, so I've got to sort that out. So that's what we're doing today. Apart from that little Riley boy, he's still not well. Apparently he started coughing again today, so we're a bit concerned that the pneumonia may have come back, and we'll be going for blood tests with Riley very, very soon. He's up in the house, just chilling out. And now on top of that, do you know what, guys? I've had what they call enough. Enough. Now my little Pippi dog, she's come down with kennel cough, and she was really poorly to the point we actually took her to an emergency vet on Sunday evening. Temperature 39 degrees. She's now on steroids and she's panting, and she just really is not a happy dog at all. She refused her food. She only gets fed once a day. She refused her food, which is never a good sign with dogs anyway, or any pet for that matter. So took her to the vets, and yeah, she apparently got kennel cough, so she's now on medication for the next 3 or 4 days. Thank you very much for a vet bill, 285 quid, much appreciated. And that's what it is. But no, we signed up to love this dog forever, and that's what it costs. So yeah, that's what it is. So Pippi dog's now got kennel cough by the looks of it. Riley boy may have his pneumonia coming back, so back to a hospital with him. Can't wait for my holiday. I've had enough. I've had enough of this. So anyway, I said to Mrs. P, she's at home. So I'm going down the shed with a can of loony juice. I'm going to go down the shed. I need to get a few mowers fixed and repaired and whatever. Get some videos done for you girls and guys. I need to chill out, find my own little happy spot, which is down here. So I'm going to spend about an hour and a half down here doing some videos for you guys, get these machines done and have a bit of a break. So Pippi, literally, I slept on the settee last night with Pip because she was really rough, and she pretty much slept right on top of my head and on the cushion. So she was really close to me all night, but she's not a well dog at all. Anyway, let's get on and do this RM253t. Try and get the axles done. I've got the parts from LS Engineering. If anyone's interested, if you've got a problem like this on your lawnmower, and I'll show you how to fix it. Hopefully, not done one before, but we'll figure it out as we go along. If it's your first time watching Micks Mowers and Mower, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be able to up on a video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's get the Stihl mower, front axle, less of a wompy-tonk and more of a tonky-wonk. Right, so for this job, I'm going to tip the lawnmower up onto what we call the service position, or your cardiac arrest position. So all the way over onto its backside, all the way back, so that we can at least work on it. Now, as you'll be able to see, if I bring you guys in just to show you, let me just remove you from your perch. The reason is, this has got a tiny bushing just here. You see that bushing, how it sits in there? Well, there should be a little tiny metal clip that holds that all in situ on these holes, okay, but they're missing. And this side here, the bushing has actually failed altogether. It's broken and there's no clip there. So I'm going to show you the parts that I've got, which should fix this issue. And the parts are here. So the first part is a part I've got from LS Engineering. Part number, it's called a spring clip, genuine Stihl, OEM number 63507080316. So there's the part numbers for you there for that one there, and they're the little tiny springs that just hold the axle in place. And the second one is not an OEM part, despite the fact I got it from the same company. This is the bushing, which I think just folds up. It folds up into position. Let me open it up for you. I think pretty much it just folds up and then sits in a little tiny hole. So it just folds up around the axle, clips into place, and that bit then goes through the deck of the deck. So we'll have a look at that. First thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to assess what this one looks like, see which way it goes, how it's held on, because that one's still in situ. So I should only need one, and it looks like it's actually got a self-tapping screw in there, so that hasn't come with it. So this bit here goes on the inside. Yeah, this faces inside towards the other axle. And then this bit here, once it closes, you then put a little tiny self-tapping screw through there. So self-tapping screw not supplied with it. I can smell fuel. Can I smell fuel? No, I can't. I thought I could smell a little bit of fuel leaking out from somewhere. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a fuel leak. Well, I tip the machine up, but it's not a problem. It's in for service anyway. It's just a little tiny drip. No problem. Right. So looking at this, I might just remove the wheel just to give you guys a bit of a better look at it. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to remove the covers on the old wheels there. Remove both covers. I think I'm just going to remove both axles, just so we get a bit of a better understanding what actually is going on behind there. Because it's always nice to know exactly how these things operate. So there you go. There's your bushing I'm on about. So there's your bushing, holds in place, and then it holds it on the little tiny torque screw, self-tapper, on that side. And around that side there's a little tiny bit poking out just there. Well, that would be that piece there. So it goes on that way round on this one. Okay, not that bit like that, it goes that way round. On the other side, it'll go alternate around that way. Okay, so the first thing to do will be to bring the axle into position and put the bushing in place over the far side, and then we should be able to then put the clips in place. We've got some special tiny clips here which should hold it in place. I believe they have them. They sell them for the machine, so it's a bit weird how both of these clips, these got holes here, but they're both missing the clips. So there's not even a sign where these clips actually went on. That's the bit that worries me, but we'll see. Hopefully they do fit, and we can fit them clips as well, just to make sure the axle does stay in place. But let me try and get you repositioned so you can see a bit more what's going on, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I think we've got most things in position now. I'll just put a tiny LED light up there so we can see what's going on. So I'm coming around the other side, and I'm going to remove the little tiny torque screw that holds that bushing in place. So that's good, we've got a spare one to use. Take that screw out, and then that little bushing that's failed, that can come out, okay? Now, we get the new bushing. This should be quite an easy fix, I think. It shouldn't be a particularly hard one. Which way does it go, Mick? It goes that way up like so. So I think there's been actually a design upgrade by the looks of it. Because on the old one, it's in two halves here. So this should now, if I adjust the height control, that's got to go that way like so. So it clips over the axle and then clips it into place like so. And then I've got to adjust the height control back so I can then get the axle into position. It'll be a bit of jiggery pokery, I dare say, just to manipulate that into position. Now these are slightly different to the originals. I've been assured they will fit. It might be a little tiny tap with a little tiny hammer like that. Alright, so now I've got to get the self-tapper in whilst holding all that in place. So the wheel might have to come off now. Try and get in there. Can I tip that height control up? That actually tips the wheel up out the way. Yeah. So that's where it's got to go. Got to put the self-tapper in screw now, which goes on the side. That'll hold that in place. And then I've got these other little clips to go on, which will then hold the axle in place on top of that. But on the other side one, these are slightly different. This is an upgrade. These are in two halves on the other side, not on one. So I'm hoping that'll be fine. Right. If not, I should be ordering new ones up. So let me get this wheel off. And I'm just going to put a self-tapper back in on the inside of the wheel that holds it in place, and I'll go from there. But if I let go of it, it's going to move. So I might be able to prop it open with a lever of some description just to hold it. Something like that. Whilst I manipulate it, there you go. All right, okay, we'll try it for now. Get that screwed in, and I'll come back to you. Right, so let me get a bit of light in here because it's very dark, because I'm mucking about around the back. I'll open some doors up too. It's going to be, although it is saying it's a bit cooler today, it's still very, very humid. Let's get a bit of light in here. Right, so what I've done is I removed the other wheel, and I have now fitted, and so this one here is a one piece, this one here is separate, so it's slightly different in quality and build. It must have been an upgrade, but they're the same part. The screw now has gone in, just here somewhere, just down in here. The screw's now in. There it is, just there. So the self-tapper's now in. So now I've got to figure out is, on this mower, they come with these little tiny clips here. Now these clips, let me just bring it around, these little wire clips, they sit in these holes. And I think they've got underneath the axle to hold this axle in place. It's not just held on by one little tiny screw, but if you look, these have got no wear marks on them at all. Nada. So I'm guessing somebody actually failed to put them in. Whether from new, I would say in manufacture, because you wouldn't have to reassemble that when you get the new machine. So let me get you reorganised. I'll come back and try and fit these clips in. Right, so with that other clip now fitted the other side and repositioned, so these are slightly smaller, and that's well in place. So that's nowhere near a failure. I mean, this is slightly different. This is an original model. They have upgraded it, because I think what's happened is they noticed that this was separating. So got these genuine Stihl parts here, which are the springs I showed at the beginning of the video. Now these little cookies, that's all that holds that little tiny axle into position. Can you believe it or not? That is it. But you've got to have them on there, because without those, that axle would not be secure. So just got to figure out which way round these go, because it's new to me. I don't think you do put them on the inside. I don't think you might do. They might go on the inside. I don't think they do though. It doesn't actually stipulate on the instruction manual. I think they go on the outside, I think. But either way, that's how they're going to sit, sort of like that. So you've got to manipulate them on, and then that will then hold that front axle into position. Okay, so these are going to be a bit like fitting a caliper wire on. It's going to be like one of those jobs. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, I want to make sure this is not going to be affected via the height control. So I don't think it will. It should clear that. But it's going to be a question of getting the long nose pliers and getting hold of that. I think I'll go that way, up and in. I'm going to force that all the way around onto there and up into position. So it's going to be a bit of a fiddle job, but I'm going to get it. The problem is I can't put it on the inside, because that goes on there lovely. That goes on there lovely, and I don't think it's going to hold anything in particular. I don't think. It might be all right. I might be able to get away with it on the inside. We shall see in a minute. I might be able to actually. That might fit better on the inside. Yeah, I'm going to try the inside. So let's just try it for now. If I'm doing it wrong, just let me know, guys. But as I say, you know me. For one of the first times doing it, and there's no marks here to say that these have been on before. So I don't think they've had them on there. So let's just try and fit this one on first. This will be a live one, like a live fitting. So I'll find the hole. I don't normally have problems finding the hole. Comments in the comment section, please. Right, right, let's just try and manipulate this round. Is that in? Yeah. Is that in? Said the vicar to a church boy. Right. Yeah, seems a bit slack around this way, because there's not enough to go around. I don't think that would hold. But it's still got to go over. I'll get my pair of long nose pliers so I can manipulate it a bit easier. Because all it does, it just literally just holds. It just holds that axle in place. That's all it does. And once these clips are in, they shouldn't be going anywhere. I quite like that look, to be fair. I don't want to get that. I don't want to get that to meet up there. This is for the right model. We have got the right holes there. Yeah, that looks pretty good like that, doesn't it? We like that. But it's going to be a question of getting that up into position. It's going to be no mean task in itself. See that? Oh, I can't bend it around that corner. So, right, off to the drawing board. I'll have a look around, see what I can find. But you can see what I'm trying to do. They've got to go in there. Definitely have. And I think it might be better if I can do it that way, because then it doesn't so much interfere with the actual axle itself. But I'm having problems bending that down into position. But it's got to go that way. So let me come back to you once I've got to try and get one fitted. 2 seconds. Right, so I've fitted it. Now what I've done is that's now in and it's solid, right? And it's right around the back here. and that won't actually interfere with the height control at all. But what it's doing is that's going to hold that axle up into position. Now the best way I've found to do that, and it's always a way to do it off video, because it always sounds easier, is to get this one in first, right? Then get a pair of long nose pliers and pad the wire on the outside here, okay? And then sort of bend it and push it round, and you'll be able to find the hole, and you've just got to force it in. But that's got now under some tension, that is, without a doubt. But yeah, definitely that one in first, and then slide your long nose pliers or pry bar or something with a wire on the outside, and then use this as like a pry to try and move this angle across. But that's definitely got that now. That ain't going nowhere. So I'll do the other side, and I'm going to fit the wheels back on and then fully test the height control, make sure the height control all works as it should do. As long as the height control works, we'll be good to go. Right, so I'm not going to lie to you guys and girls, that was a pig. And if I'm doing it wrong, just say so, right, guys, because I'm learning too. But I can't see it going on the outside here because it's just too much in the way. And you've got this angle here, so it's got to go on the inside, I believe. I do know some that do go on the outside. What would have been nice is still to put a little tiny plate in here. That would have been nice to just screw them two together. I might even make that up, actually, just put 2 tiny screws in there just to hold these two together. That would be a good thing. But this one here was an absolute pig to fit. This wire, it's now in. Put that side in first, the bottom side. Fish that one over, hold up a pair of mole grips, and then give it a little tiny tap with like a tinking hammer. That's what I used. Just to bash that one in on that top side. But now it's in, it ain't going out. And it's all clipped in down there where it should be. So I'm happy with that. So the next thing to do will be put the wheel back on. This one's all on, good to go. And just make sure the height control all works. Now the height control should work. I can get on and service it. So hopefully it'll be a win-win situation. Right, so that is the clips now put on. Let me know in the comment section what you guys and girls think. It didn't have the little wire clips. So that's the part number for these are 6350 space 708 space 0316. Right, didn't have a little wire clips on here, and there's no scratches on this deck. Now I picked this lawnmower up about 3 years ago. Got it as a scrapped mower because it had a bent crankshaft. Took the engine off, put another engine on, away it went. And the lady's had this machine now for about 3 years, I think, something like that. Well happy with it, looks after it, no problems at all. But it didn't have any little clips on it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys and girls think. There's no scratches on that deck at all. I don't think any clips are on there. And was definitely an upgrade in them bushings. It's definitely an upgrade because they're slightly thicker, and that's why I struggle to get the clip on the far side. But now, lawnmower now has no slack in the front axle, and the front axle now operates as it should do, up and down the height control settings as it should do. So yeah, no worries there. This machine will now go forward, have a full service, have an oil change done, air filter all done and cleaned up or replaced. It'll have a new spark plug, it'll have a blade sharpener and balance. Pull cord will be inspected, but I think it'll be okay. We'll go from there. Machine already runs apparently, so this machine can go up and back delayed tomorrow morning, no problems at all. And that's how I do it. So that's how Micks Mowers and Mower Man fixes this RM253t Stihl lawnmower with a wobbly dobbly wonky badonky axle. That's not necessarily how the main dealer would do it, but that's how I did it. Got the job done inside 20 minutes, and we're back up and running again in no time at all. So there you go. Leave us a comment down in the comment section down below if you think I've done a good job or not. Up to you. Leave me a positive comment or negative comment. I don't really mind. It's up to you. But don't forget to hit the old subscribe button or whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. And I look forward to you guys and guys next time. Micks Mowers very, very soon. But don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.